Attention coaches, consultants, and speakers. One of the biggest questions I get is how to get more speaking gigs, and that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you 5 tips in order to accelerate that and start to see more results in just getting those things on your calendar. And for those of you new to me, I'm Jena Rodriguez. I'm a business and success strategist and founder of Brave Masters. I'm committed to helping entrepreneurs worldwide speak up and scale their passion-focused businesses, overcome their fears, and unpack their leader within to live out the greatest potential that I know you have. So that's who I am, and this is what we're going to talk about. And so one of the, like I said, one of the biggest things that people struggle with is, okay, I want to be a speaker. I want to get more visible. That's really what this is about, is marketing yourself in a much more visible way, but I don't know how to get the gigs or even where to start with that. And so I want to share 5 things. Number 1 is to declare it. That is the first step. And that is very powerful in your intention, because it does create things starting to show up for you. If you're on the fence, if you're hesitating, if you're like, well, maybe sometimes I might do that, it's just not going to happen. You got to make that solid decision. So number 1 is declare it. And what that looks like is start putting it in your title, start saying it when you introduce yourself and events, or when someone says, what do, mention it, right? You can also update your profile, all of your social media. Make sure that that's updated as well and includes that word speaker. All right, so that's number 1. Number 2 is search for networking groups with your city, networking groups city, in Google, on even inside Facebook, because Facebook, of course, a lot of people post their events. Another place you can go is meetups.com. So search for those networking groups in your area and send them a request, and find out if they're looking for speakers and go from there. So that's the second way, is to actually start looking for it and find the groups in your area that could potentially host you. And then number 3 is attend networking events. So when I started making this decision to speak back in 2013, I was networking like crazy. That was part of the problem. I was crazy networking, not really getting the traction and the clients that I wanted. So when I declared I was a speaker, I started sharing it out loud. I started searching for it and making movement and actions in that direction. And ultimately, I stayed in the networking until I could get the speaking kind of set up on my calendar, right? And so when I attended the network events, I would have my 60-second intro every day, right? So I would add at the end, a great referral for me is speaking opportunities about this topic, where I can share this topic. And that actually got me quite a few speaking gigs, because people are looking to refer and to support you and to help you win. And so that's a great way to do what you're already doing, most likely, when, whether you're networking or what have you, then you can just start to add that to your request. And number 4 is sponsor 1 to 3 day events. So someone's hosting an event, it's a 1 day, it's a 2 day, it's a 3 day, you become their sponsor. So it is a pay to play model, but trust me, if you can get in front of a very dedicated audience like that, because they are there to learn, they're committed, they've paid to be there, and you're the expert. I've always had a really great return on my investment. So I would look for 2 or 3 of those a year, possibly a smaller 1-day event every quarter, and then some of the bigger events, the 3-day events, like twice a year. So that was my strategy to get myself out there. A couple events I started in the beginning with just being a panelist, which basically you're interviewed on stage in front of the entire audience as the expert to go to, and then I'd have a booth or a table, and people can come to me for more information, get on my calendar, things like that. And then I elevated myself to actually speak for an hour in a breakout session, for instance, and then ultimately a main stage spot. So I grew to that through my speaking career, right? And so that's what you can do as well, whether you're at beginning or if you are already sponsoring, great. Make sure that you have the system to move people to a decision. And if you're sponsoring already and you're not having the results, I'll share with you some resources that you can check out here in a minute, so that you can get support around that and start monetizing what you're already doing. So that's number 4. Number 5 is make your own stage. A great way to get started is if you're in business, you're coaching, you're consulting, you know what you know, and yet you just aren't getting in front of enough people, you can create your own. And that looks like even just as simple as like a table of 10, like 10 people in a room, lunch and learn, do it in a private room in a restaurant or something like that. Simple, right? Very easy. And then ultimately, have that conversation, have that presentation for those people in that room. You can do it one day if you're more advanced and you've been speaking for a while, or you can certainly do your own 3 days like I used to. So those are the 5 tips that I have for you today. Number 1, declare it. Number 2, search for it, right? You can search for it online. You can search for it on social media platforms. Number 3, attend networking events or continue to attend networking events and ask for it. Then 4, sponsor some events that can get you in front of the right target audience. And 5, you can make your own. So those are the tips, and those are the exact things that I did to fill my calendar. And I haven't checked the total lately, but I think it's over 100 places that I've spoken offline and online over the last 2 years. So it's totally doable and it's very possible. And when I was starting to speak 6 years ago, this was definitely one of the ways I did it. So if you want more support, like I mentioned, around learning more about how my story went, and of course how to get more speaking gigs, why you should speak in your business, and really dig under what is possible when you start to monetize, and what's that system that I'm talking about. You can go to a no cost, no sell training that is at what's the link? bravemasters.com/free webinar, and you can access that and take a look at that information. And that'll support you moving down the road a little bit further. And if for those of you really serious, like, okay, I've done this, I've been speaking, or I don't even know where to start, but I want some really, one-on-one type support, or, live coaching with me, I have a Brave Speaker Accelerator program that is perfect for you. It includes the online course that I have, as well as, which gives you all the templates and the how-tos and literally the step A to Z of how to build a business around getting highly visible using speaking, and also how to sell, also how to close the sale, and really create the foundation for your business. And if you feel like that plus me, right, 6 weeks of me to help you walk through all that would be supportive, let's get on a call together and just have a chat and see if that would work for you. And the way you can do that is go to apply.bravespeakeraccelerator.com, and then we can have a conversation. I'll let you know if it's really a good fit for you, and you can certainly see if it's the right fit, if I'm the right fit for you, and we'll make that happen. So don't hang out there trying to figure this out on your own if you really want the support to move forward and accelerate your results. Until the next time, let's go get our brave on, and I can't wait to hear about your wins and your successes. Talk to you soon.